has generally considered these requirements and the need for practicality, clarity, and certainty with respect to the any other restrictions or ordinance requirements pertaining to the discharge of firearms anywhere else in the township, particularly because there are significant amounts of the township that are game lands and are not necessarily burdened by these regulations which would pertain to my client. So we're really looking for some consistency associated with the manner of the ultimate use of the property. Archery hunting is really no different than an archery range. Hunting in and of itself is no different than a shooting range as it relates to the discharge of firearms and the promotion of health, safety, and welfare. And to some extent, an organized shooting range is safer because there are identified target areas versus a more free-form situation in the woods of game land. So my client looks to work with the township to come up with clear, precise conditions where they're certain for my client with regard to what needs to be done, or any similarly situated range, and we look forward to the process continuing on. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. O'Connell. You can leave the microphone there for the next speaker. Who wants to come up next? Alexis, do you have anything to say on behalf of Range? Any problem with the oil and gas section of the proposed ordinance? No. Like you're JD. Oh, I'm sorry. Come on. Yeah. Sorry. Show me this right.
Raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
State your name, please.
Michael Smith, 110 Main Road, West Alexander, PA, 15476. I'm not exactly sure why we're even here, because I belong to the Dawn of the Freedom Group, and when this all came about, a group of residents, which means a good many of us are here, we formed a group because we opposed the zone. We went to the trouble to get supervisors added for the upcoming year. We ran people in the election. We won we got the 5 supervisors added. We won the election. Loud and clear, 81% of the vote. As of January, the zoning ordinance is not going to be there. So why are we here? And that answer is the answer tonight.
At the conclusion of the comments, we'll see if the supervisor wants to comment. Any more public comment?
Raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do so swear. My name is Eric Graham. My address is 83 Highland Avenue, West Alexander. I am the fire chief of West Alexander Volunteer Fire. I'm speaking today in support of at least parts of the zoning ordinance. As far as fire protection goes, I believe it is very important to have some of those requirements met. Something as simple as building height, which we've never had any township to say how tall somebody can build a building. In the zoning ordinance, it requires it to be at a maximum of 35 feet. Well, that's greatly important to a fire department, or any fire department that's going to be responding, that does not have the access nor the means to purchase a ladder truck to access a building over 35 feet. So that's something that's very important to us. Another thing that's very important to us is the actual zones themselves, where certain parts of industry or industrial applications can be placed. Those are placed in areas that we can support firefighting operation in those areas. They're not placed in areas where we can't get water there, you know, to help assist put a fire out. So that is very important to us. There are a few other more minor. Those are the two major things in the zoning ordinance that I absolutely support, that the fire department supports, and we hope that in the future, no matter what happens, we have some kind of restrictions in those types of areas. I think we've been lucky throughout the last 10 or 15 years that we haven't had something coming in and be built that we cannot protect with what we have. We had discussions many years ago with the joint committee on development, or whatever it might be called, I don't remember, with Claysville Borough and Donald Township. Went as far back as when West Alexander was still a borough, and you know, they talked about hotels, motels, and that always concerned me, you know, when they were having those discussions as to who was going to buy the $1 million fire truck that was going to take to protect that facility. Surely not us. You know, I don't know who that might be. So those things are important as far as, for me, as far as public safety is concerned. As a resident of Donald Township for my life, I grew up 2 doors outside the village of West Alexander. The other thing that is important to me is the village atmosphere that I grew up in, that I've raised my children in, and my children are raising their children in now. You know, I don't want to see that change. This will assist in that village atmosphere to keep it that way and not make any changes. I guess that's all I have.
Next.
Nobody else?
Raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Absolutely.
Your name, please?
J.D. Martin, 553 Rock 40, West Alexander. Please excuse the sunglasses, I just came from the eye doctor and put your ops in, but I like to say. No offense meant. No sense beating the dead horse. Everybody in this room knows how we feel. Mike spoke about the group. Maybe a couple things to add to that, reiterate. We've said that time and time again at meetings. Said all along, it's not necessarily what you do, but how you do it, or how you go about it. And you guys, as far as I know, took an oath, sworn in to uphold. You have a duty and obligation to represent the people of Donald Township, all of them, 3,000 ballpark, to the best of your ability, and to listen to their will and conscience. And they have spoken time and time again with wanting the survey, the postcards, with adding 2 supervisors, and most recently with the primary election. A couple things with this that, you know, we were working through it. Yes, we had several hearings, or not hearings, several meetings that there was public comment, public discussion. There was a lot of good information that came from this side of the room. There was a lot of input and questions and answers that came from this side of the room that a lot of people, not just in the group but in the audience, put in their own time and did the research and came up with answers that you guys sat behind the table and know. Even Gary, there's questions that came that was asked that, you know, was beneficial. We were working on that. We were working to that. My whole thing is, I don't think we should be here. I don't think we should be at this point because this is an incomplete document. We were working through it. We were up to page, I don't know what page it was, but we were going through it section by section, page by page. When you guys turned it back to the Planning Commission, that first meeting was the most productive, best meeting I've ever seen in this township as long as I've been coming. The problem is, whether it was one night, I don't want to misspeak or be incorrect, but if it was one night or 2 nights later, you guys undid everything that they and we accomplished at the time. There's been, I know Doug, you had said before something to the fact, and correct me if I'm not completely right, but you guys chose and put people on the board and counted on the board, and I know Lee had said, when I asked him if he had read it, he admittedly had not read it. You're chairman of the planning commission. Dave, you're chairman of the supervisors. I asked you, and you admittedly hadn't read it. But yet, you guys both chose to put it through. Lee said he didn't have to because he had experts in the field on the board that he relied on them. Doug, you said something similar as far as appointing people to the board that were experts. You have Jerry Zwicker that's in land design and all that. You have Jody Noble that's a township manager and expertise. And you have Jeff Dittmer that's, I believe, an audiologist is the correct terminology. When put to vote, we spoke about the decimal levels. And Gary, I understand you turned it over to Michael Crooney. He was very helpful. He definitely helped gel things. He definitely helped move things forward and calm things down. So that was a good call. I think that was one of the last things we touched on, or sticking points, was at decibel levels. And a couple members of the audience used their phone with decibel meters, like in the back of the room, and just speaking loudly exceeded those. Jeff Dittmer, an expert in the field, I believe, said that's not a reasonable level, that basically, I know I said that, and he may have, I can't remember the example he used, but I said a barking dog. It's not a reasonable level. I believe you asked him to meet and participate and discuss and get that ironed out. Has that ever been done? Has that ever been done? Doug, did you guys meet and discuss?
We're not here to engage back and forth.
Of course not. Anyway, to the best of my knowledge, that's not been done. I understand that's too much to ask, just trying to move forward. That being said, he voted no not to put through. Your 3 experts on the panel voted no. Jody Noble said, I believe, it's incomplete documents. She couldn't vote it through, and something to the fact that the next board will probably just toss it anyway, so it's a moot point and a waste of time and money. Not her exact words. It's just a synopsis of what I remember. And then Jerry Zwicker, no, I believe that's correct. But yeah, so you chose not to listen to the experts and go ahead and push it through an incomplete document and put it forward and waste more time and money. The motion, as I recall, and I believe that it was Kathy Gilmore, so she could stand up and speak to this and testify to this. What you put through isn't even what the motion was. So it's, if that meeting was May 23rd, and I believe the motion was the version dated April 3rd, including the revisions up to April 25th, this draft says May 25th, and I believe, I can't read it I believe the map says June, wherever it is, June 15th. And I think Gary, I think you said the meeting date was June 13th or something? Not sure. Anyway, I guess it's more of the same. The people have spoke out against it overwhelmingly. You've seen the disruption, the division, the stress, the aggravation that it's caused, the divisiveness in the community, and it's a shame. And I would just hope that you guys would take all that into consideration. As Eric stated out, there are good things in there. There are things that need done, but you can do a lot of that with ordinances. And I have not read this. I haven't got a copy of this for, and I can't read it now anyway. I question, even like my property, I have different properties and they're zoned differently, even though they butt each other. That never got answered, never got discussed, whatever. I would just ask you, once again, to consider the whole effect that this is going to have from this day forward. And once it's imposed, you know what I mean, it's there. If the next board throws it out, if that's what's going to happen, it's again just a waste of time and money. So I guess that's all I got.
Thank you, Dave. Anyone else? Any comment, any supervisors want to make? My recommendation is that you take some time to consider the comments, review the exhibits, and make a decision on either modifying, rejecting it, or adopting it at a public meeting. You have them scheduled second Wednesday of each month, so that would be my recommendation. And with that, I'm going to close the record and turn it back over to the chairman. Yep, you're done. Thank you for attending.
I move that we adjourn. Mr. Greeley? Yes. Mr. Prescott?
Yes.
I vote yes. Meeting is adjourned at 6:50.
My hand.
Well, they're gonna get good stuff.